Welcome to another episode of Dungeon Command, the tournament. Goblins versus Orcs. We are now in round 6. There were a couple things I forgot to do last time. He was still tapped, so untapped him. And we also were missing a creature card, so I drew this guy. And I also made it a little bit easier for our goblin piles. Here's the discard piles and the yet-to-be-drawn piles, and here's our orcs. Who cares about them? So, thinking of a strategy for our goblin friends here, I am going to start off with a deployment, which we can do during our refresh phase, which is right now. And I am going... nope, not him. This guy. See if I can... get that flash out of the way. The Goblin Wolf Rider. When this creature is destroyed, you can immediately deploy one goblin or one wolf creature. So, his death will only bring out one more creature. And now that should... 2, 4, 5, 11... Alright, just one under. Good. Alright. Alright, so we're going to deploy him. And this guy right here. It's kind of cool. Place him right here. Alright, now, before we actually move him, though, let's see here. It's the end of the refresh. Oh, draw one order card. It's a good thing I still have this around. Alright, death sentence. Level 3, one creature you control. Okay, well, we've pulled this before. In our last episode, we had our sorcerer use that, and we might have him use it again. So, couple other things I needed to clear up. In the first episode, I wasn't sure. I know these counted as difficult terrain, and these did too. But they also counted as, like, what do you call it? Obstacles, prevents line of sight, and then you have hazard tiles. Well, turns out, with his ability, you could control, creatures you control ignore difficult terrain. So, I looked through the rulebook, and these do count as difficult terrain as above, which should have been pretty obvious, and I shouldn't have been so confused about this, but it was clarified, so the orc units can bypass them. And the other thing, cover, obstacle tile or squares, obstacle squares, any creature on them would have been under the effect of cover. So if I had wanted to, I could have tapped him, his card, to prevent this damage, which I am going to do now. So that prevents 20 damage, but not the 10 from... Wait a minute. Where did the other 10 come from? Oh, right. The Orc Drudge hit him for 20, but we were able to, because of his special ability, we were able to block 10 of that. Gotcha. Okay. Now, it's been a few days since I did my last video, so... Okay, so we were able to save some damage from the soldier, and now for my actual plan of action. Activate phase. Creatures one at a time in any order you choose. Good. First off, I'm going to activate my sorcerer. He's going to go back one. And the way line of sight works is you pick a point on the square. And then you have to connect that point, whether string, ruler, whatever utensil you have, and connect it to each 4, let me move him out of the way, and each 4 of the corners of the square. If you can connect to all 4 without hitting a wall or obstacle, then that counts as clear a clear shot, so you have no problems. But in this case, we can really only connect to like 2 of them. So he'll have cover, so just like our soldier over here, he'll be able to tap and prevent that damage. But that's what we were expecting him to do. Because now that he's tapped, our Goblin Cutter can do 10 damage and 10 extra damage against tapped creatures. Now, I already looked through their order cards. The only thing they have is a deflect, which they need a strength modifier, or stat. Which, as you can see, he does not have. So, that is going to be 20 damage to the druid from our Goblin Cutter. And that's not all. Nope. The Goblin Cutter is going to have this card attached to him. The creature gains Scuttle, can shift when it moves, which means that he can move more than 1 square away while engaged in melee. Normal rules, you can only move like 1 square, but we're going to attach this to him so he can move more than 1 square. And I'll show you why. He can move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we're going to attach this card to him. Stupid flash. Take 1 treasure token. Okay, come on. From this square. This creature is in to place this creature in any magic circle square. So yes, he is going to take this treasure and be teleported to safety. Now I'm not sure if that actually gains +1 morale, because I know by default rules if you take an action to take treasure, you gain +1 morale. I'll find that out at the end of this video. If we do, then the goblins will have +1 morale by the next round. Alright, moving on. We are now going to move the Wolf Rider, who can move 8 spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like I planned. And since he's already tapped, he can't do anything anyway. So we do another 20 damage. Yeah, piling it on now. Take that, you stupid druid. Alright. Last guy we got left is the soldier. Now, that actually is something I should have also looked into. Last round we attacked him, but I'm not sure if he should have because of the wall. I think he was supposed to move here to attack him. If that's the case, then next round the chieftain will be getting some hit points back, unfortunately. But we'll be getting those cards back too, so that's a plus. Or we can just move on and say screw it. Alright, so he's going to move up here, and he's going to attack the archer, who, once again, we can't block anything, so how much damage does he do? 20. Not enough to kill him, unfortunately. Alright. So that is going to be the end of the goblin's turn. We can go ahead and discard these. Oh, yep, and this one. And then we proceed to our deployment. 13. And let's see, do we have... Oh yeah, our cutter. Good. We're going to deploy him. Crap. I think I put all of my stuff in here. Yeah, see, that one was still ours, that one was still ours. That one we just drew. That was my mistake. It's like, where did our order cards go? Okay, so we're going to deploy the other cutter. Okay, boom. And that'll do it for the goblins. Alright, moving on to the orcs. And untap creatures. Draw an order card. Oh. Well, this is unfortunate for the goblins. Attach this card to a creature. Melee attacks deal plus 20 damage. At the end of its activation, the creature takes 20 damage. So it's kind of a give some, take some type thing. Okay. Well, the archer isn't going to do much at short range. So he's going to move back one. And fire, dealing 20 damage. Which I believe... Oh, yeah, right. I forgot. He has this ability from the sorcerer. Can tap him to prevent 10 damage. Well, we're going to do that. So he only takes 10 damage. Okay, next. Actually, that was probably a bad idea. Because he did the least amount of damage. Oh boy. So, alright. The werebore is going to be doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can he move 7? No, he cannot. Well, it's a standard, so he can move prior. Since he's in melee, he can move 1. Now he's going to use charge, so he can move his speed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he makes a melee attack that deals damage plus 10. So he'll be doing 40 damage to our sorcerer, which we're going to tap. He will be still dealt 30 damage, so he's 10 hit points away from death. Let's see. Here, I'm going to go ahead and tap these guys so we know which ones have already gone. Druid. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, we already used the charge. I'm trying to think. Let's see here. Next turn, the druid. Next turn, the druid is most likely gonna die. Most likely. Tap each enemy creature adjacent. Well, we could do that. I'm gonna use this next round somewhere. I don't know where though. The Wolf Rider will be able to kill the Druid. So he should have probably actually used that last turn. Yeah, it's too late. So, Fury's Bellow, tap each creature. How does it to an orc? No, actually. Okay. I has an idea. Currently, the chieftain has 60 points of damage, right? Well, that means he has 30 hit points left. So probably taking 20 hit points is a bad idea. So we are going to have the druid go out in a glorious sacrifice by dealing 40 points of damage to the wolf rider. Oh, but wait, no, he's doing 30 points of damage to the rider. Hey, I gotta give the goblin some sort of edge. Shh. So doing 30 points of damage to the rider, and taking those final 20 points of damage, the druid marvelously sacrificed himself, losing 3 morale. 1, 2, 3. Which, honestly, he has plenty of. The orcs are ahead in morale, leadership, and creatures. Well, no longer creatures, but I still have faith in the orcs too. Even though I'm waiting for the goblins. The goblins must win. So he was able to get out a big punch and die from it. Totally legit. So all we have left now is our chieftain, who is going to avenge our druid, or their druid, not by running into his pointy sword. And he's going to do 30 damage himself. So, the chieftain does 30 damage. The soldier can't actually prevent that. So that brings him to 50. Yeah, that was my knuckle just popping. Alright. So, soldier now has 20 hit points left. Ouch. Our forces have taken a beating. I believe that is the end. Yes. Move, attack, sacrifice, move, charge, attack. Okay, yep. So now we untap all of our creatures. Increase leadership by 1. It was at 16, I believe. I'll have to look at the previous video. That's one thing I was mentioning about having these sticky tacks, which I don't have. But having it not slide around everywhere would be nice. So we have 11, so we can put out a creature of 5 or lower. Whew. Almost. Now we could just not deploy any and get this guy out next turn, but let's get the cleric out. Cleric's got more HP anyway. Doesn't do as much damage, but... Or we got the barbarian. Whenever an adjacent enemy creature is destroyed, untap this creature. That's also tempting. But nope, we're going to deploy the cleric and draw 1 creature to take his place. Owlbear, 30 damage. Level 4, strength and con, 100 hit points. Speed is 6. Well, that'll be a nice addition. Alright, so let's get this cleric. What does his figure look like? He's got a spear. Alright. Alright, that'll do it for the end of this round. Whew! Things were pretty much in the orcs' favor, and things are still pretty much balanced. The goblins, you know, they got more creatures out on the field now, but they're sadly lacking behind on leadership and morale. They're below their starting point, whereas the orcs are above their starting points and have some pretty strong creatures. Alright, so we will see you next time for round 7 of Dungeon Command.